Kelsey Mitchell has confessed that the hype surrounding new Indiana Fever teammate Caitlin Clark during her rookie WNBA season was a bit unsettling. The two-time All-Star, who's been with the Indianapolis team for 7 years, is well versed about the typical pressures that come with professional basketball. Yet she was blown away by how quickly the women's game grew in popularity in the public eye recently. Clark was picked first in the 2024 WNBA draft and became Rookie of the Year following an amazing first year with the Fever. She also played a key part in spiking WNBA's popularity, thanks to her standout time with Iowa. Her skills have drawn eyes not only for her playmaking but for helping hoist the league's viewership to new peaks, with 54 million unique watchers and stadium visits to a 22-year high of 2.4 million. This soaring attention, however, has put players like Clark under intense media attention. Veteran WNBA star Mitchell weighed in, saying that fame has thrown a few curveballs at the players in terms of adjusting to their newfound spotlight. Speaking to the Players Tribune, the 29-year-old said, "I'll be honest, the spectacle was unsettling sometimes. Some of the newer fans have been really hateful online to the incredible women in our league, and to me and our Fever players as well." Mitchell also pinpointed the moment when she realized the league and its players had reached a new level of recognition. She continued, "I can tell you the exact moment I knew nothing would ever be the same. It was this aha moment that clicked for me, back in May. We were getting ready to play New York at home, and my aunt hit me up. She is not a sports person at all. And she calls me like, 'Kels, how do I get tickets to the game?' I'm like, 'Now, hold the hell up, Aunt Stephanie is trying to see us play? I must be dreaming.' I think everybody in the league has a version of that story by now. It wasn't the sold-out arenas, the media attention. It was that one person hitting you up. People that never really had an inclination before to watch women's basketball all of a sudden wanted to be a part of it. Now, they wanted to see the WNBA." Regarding the impact of Clark, Mitchell added, "We obviously had a new spotlight on us, with Caitlin being drafted, who I'm proud to call a teammate. That was exciting in its own way, with the fans it brought to the arena, and the opportunity it gave our squad. But I think, in a weird way, the outside noise kind of made people forget sometimes that we're still human, if that makes sense." Caitlin Clark's competitive spirit has been both her greatest asset and her most challenging hurdle. If you're a CC fan, you would know this. For the uninitiated, though, this is all you have to know to get on the Clark bandwagon. Just in a few months, the Iowa phenom has become a household name. From her scoring abilities to unmatched assisting, she's the apple of spectators' eyes for a reason. But from her high school days to her standout rookie season in the WNBA, the 22-year-old Iowa native's fiery temperament has also often been a talking point. But there was one person who noticed this early on. None other than her high school head coach, Kristen Meyer. She understood that it wasn't good. It didn't help the team. It didn't help her play better, Meyer explained, referencing Clark's occasional outbursts on the court. But also, she gets so into the moment that she can't help herself, added the head coach, reflecting how the Indiana Fever sensation was helpless. During high school, her fierce competitive streak sometimes manifested in heated exchanges with referees and teammates. Former teammate Ella McVeigh also observed that Clark's advanced basketball instincts often put her several steps ahead of everyone else. Because she's so hard to guard, the opponent is fouling her pretty much every single possession, Meyer noted. But referees can't call every infraction, which only fueled Clark's frustration. However, Clark managed to sail through. Even when it was time to transition from high school to collegiate basketball, she made the shift seamlessly, but her fiery attitude persisted. She always kind of had, that little attitude, Hawkeyes head coach Jan Jensen admitted. While her passion made her a standout player, it also created challenges. The Iowa Hawkeyes superstar's insistence on perfection sometimes alienated teammates and officials. But it was her extraordinary talent that often overshadowed the downsides. While her peers were still working to catch up, Caitlin was already playing at an elite level, Jensen explained. This gap in ability and understanding often led to frustration. But it was also a driving force behind her success even when she further transitioned to professional basketball. Clark was already one of basketball's brightest stars before she even donned a WNBA jersey. Fever fans quickly embraced her, packing arenas and flooding social media with their adoration. However, just weeks into her rookie season, veteran defenders across the league saw her as a target. Some of her fans criticized the team on social media for perceived failures to protect their rookie star during tough play incidents. "I'll be honest, the spectacle was unsettling sometimes," said 6-year Fever veteran Lexie Mitchell. "Some of the newer fans have been really hateful online to the incredible women in our league and to me and our Fever players as well. Her sharp shooting made her a threat, but her spotlight made it even worse, and opponents didn't hold back. The guard faced aggressive double teams and rough fouls in games. This treatment was heavily criticized by her fans, but her teammates also found themselves under fire." The Kansas City Chiefs have fans everywhere around the world that span generations. The recent success starring Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce has garnered new members of Chiefs Kingdom as the team attempts the Super Bowl three-peat. On the latest episode of the New Heights podcast, WNBA star Caitlin Clark joined the Kelce brothers to explain her Chiefs fandom, which dates back to her childhood and prominence in the family. "I had family in Kansas City, and I grew up in Des Moines, Iowa, which is only 3 hours from Kansas City," said Clark. "So that's just the closest NFL team. My dad was a big Chiefs fan growing up. People think I'm like a bandwagon Chiefs fan. I'm like, no, I was there before Patrick, Mahomes, and Travis. We were ride or dies, so we've been big fans." The 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year helped bring more viewers to the league and became a nationally recognized star in basketball. Clark also mentioned being a fan of Taylor Swift and attending the Eras Tour, but has yet to watch a Chiefs game at Arrowhead Stadium. The Kansas City Chiefs have fans everywhere around the world that span generations. The recent success starring Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce has garnered new members of Chiefs Kingdom as the team attempts the Super Bowl three-peat. On the latest episode of the New Heights podcast, WNBA star Caitlin Clark joined the Kelce brothers to explain her Chiefs fandom, which dates back to her childhood and prominence in the family. "I had family in Kansas City, and I grew up in Des Moines, Iowa, which is only 3 hours from Kansas City," said Clark. "So that's just the closest NFL team. My dad was a big Chiefs fan growing up. People think I'm like a bandwagon Chiefs fan. I'm like, no, I was there before Patrick, Mahomes, and Travis. We were ride or dies, so we've been big fans." The popularity of women's basketball, and women's sports in general, skyrocketed in 2024, and it is without a doubt that Caitlin Clark can be thanked for that. Not only was Clark the most popular female athlete over the last 12 months, Time named her their Athlete of the Year, a title held by worldwide stars like Lionel Messi, LeBron James, Simone Biles, Serena Williams, and Tiger Woods in recent years. Clark began the year at the back end of her record-breaking college ball career. As a senior at Iowa, she was several months removed from losing the national championship to Angel Reese and the LSU Tigers, where Reese's "You Can't See Me" taunt was the unofficial start of a rivalry both on and off the court, although Clark, herself, will tell you there's no such thing between them. In any case, the gesture prompted plenty of discussion, which turned into further culture wars this summer with Clark as a WNBA player. That, though, did not come before she set the NCAA record, both men and women, for most points scored in a college career and another national championship appearance. In April, she was the #1 overall pick, and practically just as she stepped on a WNBA court, the conversation began about whether her popularity was due to her race. In fact, it was a claim that WNBA MVP A'ja Wilson had made, saying Clark being white was a huge thing when it came to Clark's popularity. Throughout the season, though, Clark was able to block out the noise about what was said about her off the court, even when it looked like she was attacked on the court by her opponents. Hard fouls came amid allegations of racism from both Indiana Fever and Iowa fans, a claim made by the aforementioned Reese. But Clark had repeated time and time again that she was focused on basketball, and that sure looked to be the case. In her rookie season, she not only broke rookie records, even WNBA records now bear Clark's name. Clark's appearances in games brought historic viewership to both the college and pro levels. The final 3 games of her college career were the most watched women's college basketball games ever. She also had several of her regular season games draw more viewers than WNBA playoff games, and her WNBA matchups with Reese were some of the most viewed WNBA games ever. WNBA teams even had to move to larger arenas simply because of the ticket demand. Clark drew. The Fever sold 90 times more tickets this past year than in 2023. Clark was named the Rookie of the Year for her historic campaign, during which she set the record for the most assists in one season in league history. She carried the Fever to a playoff appearance after a slow start, and she quickly became a double-double machine. She even set a single-game record with 19 assists. She also became the first rookie to record a triple-double, registering 2 of them. She received the most votes for the All-Star game and was just the 5th rookie in league history to make the All-WNBA first team.